Not many people can boast about both writing and starring in some of the world's most iconic films. Dan Aykroyd is best loved for films like Blues Brothers, Ghostbusters, Coneheads, but he can also boast about being a booze baron. Oh, I'd love to have that on my business card.
Well, is that something you boast about?
Well, I would. He's back in Australia promoting his limited edition Aurora Crystal Head vodka. Hello, Dan.
Good day. How are you?
Dan, you know us so well. You've come in bearing gifts. You brought in the Crystal Head vodka, and I noticed that there's one, and you were just saying to me before off air, this one's for me, and then Amanda's one.
I didn't see Dan say that.
I was just saying before while you were out.
Isn't it a beautiful bottle?
Don't I look good?
Yes, it's the to commemorate the Aurora Australis or the Aurora Borealis, and we're doing the last vodka was so well received here in Australia. Australia is a very forward-thinking country, creatively, architecturally, musically, in film, and so I feel at home here as a creator, originator, and an artist, and that's what the bottle came from. Two artists, my friend John Alexander and myself, getting together to just try to clean up vodka a little bit. We didn't like what we heard went into some of the lesser expensive vodkas: glyceride, sugar, and limonene. Glyceride, a cousin to antifreeze, limonene, a bug exterminant, and sugar. Now, of course, they don't put enough in there to kill you, but if you knew you could have a non-additive vodka without glyceride, wouldn't that be the choice?
Yeah.
So that's what Australia went for the last time with our original Crystal Head, which was a corn-based. Of course, with our beautiful Newfoundland water, and the notes we won were sweet, vanilla, dry, crisp, with a kick of heat off the finish, and we won the Prodexpo in Moscow.
Congratulations!
The Russians voted us best tasting out of 400, excellent taste out of 400 beverages. So we're really doing it right. Australia is hip. You got it right away when we brought the bottle here, and we said, we're going to do this new vodka, this new wheat expression, a little bolder, a little spicier. Where are we going to go? Australians deserve to have it first in the world.
Well, you're talking about a country that its currency was rum, the rum rebellion. That was our currency.
Yes, well,
when we started. That's our...
And boy, they needed it back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even still now, you can trade with alcohol, with stuff. Sometimes.
Well, you do. You get
I'll swap motorbike parts for a carton of beer, or do you need motorbike parts? Because I got heaps. So
I always need
Because you're a Harley man.
Always need, yes, and you always need parts for Harleys.
Do you need any seats? I've got 6 Harley seats at home at the moment.
Oh, they must be vintage.
No, they're all the same. That's the problem. But they're all FX.
Oh, is this when you went out with the Octomum?
No, I just ended up. I've just got too many. I've got too many seats. Well, you work hard. You're always doing stuff. Ghostbusters, the girl version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How's
the
that going?
Girl version.
Well, that's my working title for it.
Well, the director and his writer have done a beautiful job of defining the 4 individual voices of the new Ghostbusters. You've got Kristen Wiig, you've got Melissa McCarthy, Leslie Jones, and Kate McKinnon, and each one of them has a really strong voice. They're badass. They're smart. They're embracing the technical. They're handling the new equipment well. I saw that new equipment. That's kind of stuff excites me because I originated.
Can you cross
all
the
that stuff.
streams with the?
Well, I'm going to leave that to the audience to see. But you take a creator like Paul Feig and you take a creator like Melissa McCarthy. I'm not going to tell them what to do. My job is to say, here's a license to go and make this thing your own, and they're doing it. And so I was on the set in Boston, and I couldn't be happier. It's going to be a big hit. And what's going to do is going to introduce, the Ghostbusters to a whole generation of girls that didn't really see the first 2 movies. Like girls 8 to 18 are going to see this movie. They're going to identify with the characters. And, hey, it may get them interested in science and get them off the texting for, a few minutes.
That is true. You're in this film. You play a cab driver.
Well, I don't know that I'm in the movie because, that's up to the director. That may change. You don't know.
What, you can't get in the movie as a cab driver?
Well, that's the director. Again, we don't like it. I guess it'd be neat to have Sigourney and Rick and myself and Billy and Ernie in there, but the movie doesn't need it. And if he makes a creative decision that no, we want it to be completely one-off, its own, without any reference to the first one in terms of the characters, that's okay with me.
Your own journey was Saturday Night Live with your audition. How hard was that? Did you just go in there and get the job, or was it?
I auditioned. I had a meeting with Lauren like 2 years prior in L.A. And then, I had worked with Lauren before, so he knew my work. And I had a meeting, and then I went in for one audition, and another, and then another, and then. He wasn't going to hire John and I because we'd already walked into the door sort of forming a cabal. We'd already thought of the Blues Brothers. We brought it to the show. And it was Gilda and Tom Davis and Al Franken, senator from Minnesota now, and my ex-writing partner, Tom Davis, and Gilda Radner, who said, you should hire these guys, or at least hire one of them, and he hired both. So it was close, because Lorne didn't want John and I ganging up as a creative force. He wanted to maintain control, and he saw, wait a minute, these guys have already formed a partnership, and they're not even hired. So it was pretty close to not being hired. I was pretty close to not being hired.
So it would have been hard if he hired one, not the other.
Well, I would have been happy for John if he'd been hired, and I think he was the more likely hire. He was the number one hire because he was a big American star from Second City. He already had the reputation of Lampoon, and I was a mailman from Canada, so...
Come on, you sell yourself short.
No, I was a Royal Mail courier. I drove for Bacon Brothers and Rod Service in Ottawa.
The Blues Brothers, Amanda and I, she loves the Blues Brothers, but the concern as a woman is the waste of cars in that movie. The waste of cars, and I said, well, that's the point of the movie.
I know. I have a girl's perspective. Can't they just get along?
Well,
Can't they just let them go?
Those cars were pretty wrecked. They were pretty destroyed when we bought them. They were really badly beaten up Chicago police units, and they were glad to sell them. They would have gone to auction and probably got a lot less than the movie company paid for them. We paid about $700 a piece for them. We bought, I guess, about 30 of them and made it look like 200. And I had my own marked police car to drive the entire time I was in Chicago.
Really?
It was your own car?
It was wonderful,
So, so you just drive around Chicago.
I was dating a girl who was dancing in the ballet at the Chicago Lyric Opera, and I called her up and said, would you like to go out for dinner? We'll go to the pump room, and I'll pick you up. I picked her up in the marked car and gave it to the valet, and these were wonderful times. She was quite impressed with that.
The Bluesmobile, where's that now?
Well, there were 4 Bluesmobiles that John and I used. There was an exterior picture car, an interior picture car, a jump car, and a basically a one that was set up for high speed running and twirls and stuff. So one of them, I believe, is owned by an ex-Illinois law enforcement officer in Illinois. That's one left that I know of the original Dodge Monacos. I ended up getting a fully marked Illinois State Police unit, which I drove in Manhattan for 3 years, and again took girls out on dates. And that thing, nobody batted an eye. I'm driving a fully marked Illinois State Police, with fake plates and everything, the aerial, the lights, and I parked it outside near my apartment and drove it in, and driving out, you see a cop, must be in serving a warrant or something, nobody
He's
cares.
dressed unusually.
And we sold that we auctioned that off and gave it to a charity. So those were the ones that I know about. I'm pretty sure most of them are gone. I don't think there's the one original one is the one that the guy in Illinois has. Yeah.
And what about the Illinois Nazi Mobile?
The little Pinto,
Yeah.
well, those got pretty well destroyed. They were dropped by helicopters. So,
And which is a lot of people that know Pintos would probably say it's too good for them to be dropped from a helicopter. Dan, it's great to see you, sir. It's great, and I'm glad. And tell Amanda that her bottle of vodka.
That's mine. Thank
I
you.
just think it's ugly to fight in front of Dan. I just think your one.
yours is coming. You'll notice our beautiful Aurora bottle.
It is beautiful.
Isn't that
It
lovely?
is beautiful.
And the vodka is a little bolder, a little spicier. It's going to make great cocktails, and it's really, really fun to come with a product that I'm confident in, because I'm not selling you used battery acid either. It's the real.
I'd
it's the
still
real,
drink that,
real
Dan.
thing.
Amanda will drink used battery acid on a bad day. So,
But on ice, please.
Dan Aykroyd, thank you.
Thanks, you guys.